Good morning. Welcome to the class of history of class 10. We are discussing chapter 2. This is part 2 video. You can open page number 88. So, in the last video we were discussing agriculture and suffering of the peasants. Some portion of this point was already discussed. So, we will be discussing the remaining portion of this very point. Second point. That is the agriculture and suffering of the peasants. So we were discussing that when the government will compel the farmers to grow cash crop instead of food crop, the price of the food crop will rise and the poor section of the society will find it very difficult to purchase the food crop, and as a result there will be mass protest against the government. Land revenue. Land revenue was the most important source of revenue of the British government. There were two main systems of land revenue administration in the country: Zamindari system and Rayatwari system. There were two main systems of revenue collection. One is Zamindari system and another is Rayatwari system. Zamindari and Rayatwari system. You have studied this very system in your last class. Not in last class. Rayatwari you have studied in class 8, and Zamindari you are well aware of the system of Zamindari. Zamindari is very much clear to all of you because it is a system that was prevalent in pre-independence period, and Rayatwari is something that we have already discussed in class 8. So I think we will find no problem in understanding both these topics. According to Zamindari system, the landlord or the Zamindar acted as a link between the peasant and the government. Here it is being explained that Zamindari system is a system in which landlord acted as a link between government and peasant. Means he collected the land revenue from the peasant, and after taking his share, he deposited the left remaining amount to the government. This is Zamindari system. Zamindar collected the land revenue from the peasant and gave it to the government after keeping his own share. According to the Rayatwari system, the government collected the revenue directly from the peasants. In the Rayatwari system, there were two systems, Zamindari system and Rayatwari system. In the Rayatwari system, the government directly collected the tax from the revenue, land revenue, that is the land tax from the peasant. There was no landlord as a intermediary between the government and the peasant. The expansion of agriculture led to the increase in land revenue by 50%. The land revenue was increased to 50%, means half of the produce was taken by the government or by the Zamindars. In the Zamindari system, half of the produce was taken by the Zamindar. In the Rayatwari system, half of the produce was taken by the government. In both the system, the government and the Zamindars adopted harsh methods to collect the excessive land revenue. In such circumstances, the peasants approached the money lenders who charged a high rate of interest. Means to pay the tax, to pay the land revenue, if they have some ceremonies, some occasions, some festivals in their house, in their home, they have to approach the money lender for extra money. For the requirement, they have to approach the money lender in the village. That acted as an extra financial burden on the family, who charged high rate of interest. According to the new land laws, the money lender could land transfer to him if the peasant failed to repay the loan borrowed from him by the peasant. Means if the peasant fails to pay the money to the money lender can get the land transferred in his name. According to the new land laws, the land can be transferred if the peasant fails to pay the money that is being borrowed from the money lender. Since the peasant was illiterate and helpless, the shrewd and literate moneylender took advantage of the position. Land revenue had to be paid on a fixed dates, irrespective of the bad, good or no harvest. Land revenue was supposed to be paid. वेदर इट वॉज अ गुड हार्वेस्ट, बैड हार्वेस्ट और नो हार्वेस्ट, फसल अच्छी हो, बुरी हो या फसल ना हो, फिर भी टैक्स देना ही देना है, एंड दैट डेट वॉज ऑल्सो फिक्स्ड, राइट. When the peasant failed to pay the land revenue, the government put up his land for sale or to the zamindar. The landless peasant were then forced to work as tenant of the moneylender and the zamindar at extremely low wages. This led to the impoverishment of the peasantry. मतलब कि अब जब जमीन छिन जाती थी, अगर वो लैंड रेवेन्यू पीजेंट नहीं दे पाता था, then that landless peasant had to work as a tenant. अब उसको अपने ही जमीन पे किराएदार के रूप में काम करना पड़ता था at a very low wage. तो such a condition led to the suffering of the peasants, and this became the agricultural cause for promoting the growth of nationalism. This way the second point is also clear. आप समझ गए सेकंड पॉइंट में क्या है? जमींदारी प्रथा और रैयतवाड़ी प्रथा के थ्रू टैक्स दिया जाता था, टैक्स नहीं देने पर जमीन ले ली जाती थी, और उसी जमीन पे किराएदार के रूप में उस लैंडलेस पीजेंट को काम करना पड़ता था बहुत कम ही पैसे पे. तो ये उनके रिसेंटमेंट का मेन कॉज था. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट, डिक्लाइन ऑफ इंडियन industries and handicrafts. This is the third cause for the factor for promoting the growth of nationalism. This is the third cause for the decline of third cause for promoting the growth of nationalism. What is the cause? That is the decline of Indian industries and handicrafts. How did the Indian industries and handicrafts decline? What is the cause of decline? And what led the decline of these industries to the rise of nationalism? Here it is saying, according to Tarachand, the deliberate neglect of industrial development in 19th century constitutes the saddest chapter of the story of relationship between India and Great Britain. जो इंडिया और ब्रिटेन के बीच रिलेशन था, उसका सबसे उदासीन पन्ना ये है कि इंडस्ट्रियल डेवलपमेंट में सबसे कम ध्यान दिया गया. लीस्ट फोकस्ड पेज वाज द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ इंडस्ट्रीज, राइट. द ओल्ड इंडस्ट्री ऑफ इंडिया विच हैड गिवन गेनफुल एम्प्लॉयमेंट टू कंसिडरेबल सेक्शन ऑफ इंडियन पॉपुलेशन लेज इन ruin. No new industry was created to take the place of the handicrafts or to blend the old handicraft system into an industrial order. कोई नई इंडस्ट्री नहीं बनाई गई, नई पुरानी इंडस्ट्री कोई नई इंडस्ट्री नहीं बनाई गई. हैंडीक्राफ्ट को रिप्लेस करने के लिए कोई मॉडर्न इंडस्ट्री को सेटअप नहीं किया गया. तो दिस इज द मोस्ट सैडेस्ट चैप्टर ऑफ द हिस्ट्री ऑफ इंडिया एंड रिलेशन विथ ब्रिटेन इन दैट colonial period. After the Queen's Proclamation in 1858, what do you mean by Queen's Proclamation in 1858? This is very important. You should mind it. What is Queen's Proclamation in 1858? 1858 में जब 1858 से एक साल पहले 1857 में रिवॉल्ट ऑफ 1857 हुआ था, 1857 की क्रांति. तो 1857 की क्रांति जब फेल हुई थी, तो उस समय उसका रिजल्ट ये हुआ था कि the transfer of power was shifted from the power of rule of Indian territories, British provinces. Power of British province in India was shifted from East India Company to the British Crown. कहने का मतलब ये है, हिंदी में समझ लीजिए कि जिस ब्रिटिश क्षेत्र को ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी शासन कर रही थी, जिस इंडियन क्षेत्र पे, भारतीय क्षेत्र पे ब्रिटिश ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी शासन कर रही थी, वो क्षेत्र अब ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी के शासन से लेकर के ब्रिटिश राज परिवार के हाथ में दे दिया गया. मतलब ब्रिटिश क्राउन के हाथ में दे दिया गया। अब ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी उस पर शासन नहीं करेगी, अब ब्रिटिश क्राउन उस पर शासन करेगा। दिस इज द रिजल्ट ऑफ रिवॉल्ट ऑफ 1857, जो कि क्वींस प्रोक्लेमेशन ऑफ 1858 के द्वारा इसको लागू किया गया। प्रोक्लेमेशन मीन्स घोषणा। दिस इज कॉल्ड क्वींस प्रोक्लेमेशन ऑफ 1858. सो यू शुड माइंड इट, व्हाट इज क्वींस प्रोक्लेमेशन ऑफ 1858, राइट? After the Queen's Proclamation of 1858, government neglected the Indian industries. Queen's Proclamation होने के बाद Indian industries को neglect किया गया। क्यों neglect किया गया, कैसे neglect किया गया, we will be discussing in the next video. So let's conclude the video. We have discussed the remaining portion of agriculture and suffering of the peasants. In next video, we will be discussing the remaining portion of this third point, that is decline of Indian industries. We were on the point that the Queen's Proclamation of 1858 neglected the Indian industries. From there, we will be continuing in the next video. Till then, take care and stay safe. Bye.